I want you to imagine this for a second. It's late at night, you're lying in your bed, the room is quiet, your phone is face down, the day is finally over, and yet your mind would not stop talking. You replay something that you said earlier, something you should not have said. You think about something that you did not do, something that you should have done. And suddenly that familiar voice shows up. Why did you say that? You always mess things up. Everyone else has it figured out except you. Nothing bad is actually happening in that moment. You're safe, you're tired, you're just lying there. But inside your head, it feels like you are being attacked. You know what's the worst part? You don't even argue with that voice anymore. You just accept it because it sounds like you. If you have ever had a moment like that in your bed, in the shower, while driving, while scrolling, or staring at the ceiling, then this video is definitely for you. Here's the thing. Your brain is not telling you the truth. And the voice inside your head, that one that says that you are not good enough, you are not pretty enough, you are not smart enough, that voice is not even yours. You did not create that voice. It was installed in you by someone at some point of time for reasons that you probably do not even remember anymore. And here's the part that will shock you. If you don't learn how to catch it, question it, and rewire it, that voice will quietly control your entire life. It will control your relationships, your confidence level, your future, everything about you. So I want you to stay with me till the end of this video because I am going to show you exactly how to shut that voice down and in fact turn it into the strongest confidence tool that you've ever had. And I promise this has nothing to do with some toxic positivity or with fake affirmations that you don't even believe in, but with actual neuroscience, identity shifting, and simple daily habits that will change how you talk to yourself and how you see yourself. Because I have been there too, listening to that voice that would never let me rest. The pressure, the constant self-criticism, but I reprogrammed it and you can do it too. Hello everyone, welcome back to Tea Talks Truth. So let's start with the truth that nobody ever told you. Your negative self-talk is not who you are. It's who you learn to be, and today we are going to change that. So this inner voice that we mentioned earlier, this did not happen in a day or two. It was built slowly through experiences, comments, comparisons, moments where you felt small, moments where you felt rejected, moments where you learned that being hard on yourself felt safer than being disappointed. And what's scary is not that this voice exists. What's scary is how casually we let it run our life. Most of us wake up and immediately start negotiating with our own mind. We criticize ourselves before anyone else gets the chance to. We replay conversations. We rewrite mistakes. We compromise on our dreams before the world even gets to see them. And we call this being realistic. We call it being self-aware. We call it being humble. But it's not. It's conditioning. It's what society expects of you. Negative self-talk is not a personality trait. It's a habit. And like any other habit, it can be rewired. I want you to really sit with this for a second. If someone spoke to your best friend the way you speak to yourself, you would immediately step in and you would say things like, "That's not true," or "You are being too hard on yourself," or "You don't see what I see in you." But when that same voice is inside your own head, you believe it without any questions because you assume it must be true because it's coming from within you. But the problem here is that your brain does not work to make you feel confident, but to make you feel safe. It prefers familiar pain over uncomfortable and unfamiliar growth. So it chooses to repeat old scripts. It brings up the worst case scenarios. It clings to old habits, not because all of this is accurate, but because they are familiar. And that's why you can be doing well in life and you still feel like that you're failing. That's why external success will never fix internal self talk. Because the problem was never your capability, it was the story that you kept telling yourself about who you are. Confidence is not about being loud or being arrogant. Confidence is quite self trust. And you cannot build self trust while constantly attacking yourself. While some people know how to control their inner critic, many of us allow it to bully us into a corner, convincing us that we are not worthy, that we are not capable, that we are not confident or liked enough to live the life that we dream of living. In fact, the research by Dr. Fred Luskin at Stanford University found that 80% of the average person's daily thoughts are negative and 90% of them are repetitive. But here's the good news. While living a life free of negative self-talk is not possible for most of us, there are ways to manage it and keep it from sabotaging happy moments and killing your confidence. And with practice, attention, and awareness, you can transform your inner dialogue. And here is how to get started. The first real tool you have is awareness and labeling. When the inner critic pops up, don't instantly swallow its words as truth. Instead, slow down for a moment and label it as just a thought. Say to yourself, that's a thought, not a fact. This will create distance between you and the story your mind is telling. When you start treating thoughts like mental events instead of truth, the inner critic loses its grip. Once you've become aware of the thought, the next step is to question it. When you hear, I'm going to mess this up, ask yourself, is this really true? What evidence do I actually have? Most of our negative thoughts are based on fear, not reality. Sometimes they are just an echo of old pain or perfectionism, not truth. One of the most powerful things that you can do is interrupt that automatic reaction with some logic, with facts, and even kindness to yourself. And remind yourself of moments when you actually did succeed. This simple act of challenging thoughts interrupts the cycle of negativity and undermines its power over you. And then there is reframing, which for many people is the real game changer. Reframing means taking a negative thought and rewriting it into a version that supports your growth instead of self-sabotage. So instead of thinking, I'm terrible at this, you might gently tell yourself, I'm still learning, and with each attempt, I get better. This is not fake positivity. It's realistic growth-oriented thinking. Reframing does not ignore the problem. It changes the narrative from I cannot to I'm learning and improving. Another incredibly important part of this transformation is celebrating your wins, no matter how small they seem. Confidence is not built only through big success stories like promotions or awards. It's built through the everyday choices that prove to your brain that you can actually trust yourself. Did you send that email you were scared to send? Did you speak up for yourself when you felt nervous? Did you set a boundary that you knew was hard for you? These small actions are the real currency of confidence, and acknowledging them rewires your mind to focus on progress instead of shortcomings. Now, this does not just happen on its own. It happens in an environment that supports you. The people you spend your time with matter. Being around negativity and constant criticism trains your mind to expect that too. But when you intentionally surround yourself with supportive and uplifting people, whether in real life or even in the kind of content that you consume, it creates a healthier internal narrative. That does not mean that people will never challenge you. It simply means that they challenge you in a way that encourages your growth instead of bringing you down. Something that helps so many people shift from self-criticism to self-confidence is practicing compassion towards themselves. The same compassion that you would offer a friend. If your best friend came to you saying that they messed up, you would not tear them apart. You will simply remind them of their worth. You will talk about what they learned and you will help them see the bigger picture. Now tell me, why is it that we don't do that for ourselves? When you catch yourself being harsh, just pause and imagine what you would say to someone that you love in the same situation. That little shift in voice can completely change your emotional experience. Another practice that's so powerful and often overlooked is affirmations and reminders that resonate with you. These are not just some cheesy phrases that you don't believe in. These are the statements that reflect truth and growth. I'm learning. I'm capable. I trust myself to handle this. Say them in ways that feel real to you and repeat them when negativity creeps in. Over time, your brain starts recognizing these as running scripts instead of the old negative ones. And finally, remember something very crucial. Negative self talk is not something that you completely eliminate. You will always have thoughts, but you get to choose how you respond to them. When you catch a negative thought, label it, question it, reframe it, and replace it with something that actually fosters confidence within you. This way, you're not just silencing the inner critic, you are reprogramming your mind. Remember, confidence does not happen suddenly. It's definitely not something that you were born with. It's a series of small choices repeated again and again that strengthen your internal belief in yourself. It's a muscle, and you build it with consistent, intentional practice. That voice in your head does not have to be your enemy. It can be your witness to your progress, not the judge of it. So, the next time this inner critic shows up, don't try to fight it. Don't try to prove it wrong. Simply notice it. Try to understand it. Redirect it towards a version of yourself that believes in your worth. One thought at a time. And I promise you, the better you get at it, the more confident you will start to feel in yourself. If you were to take one thing from this video, let it be this. The way you talk to yourself is shaping your life more than you realize. Not in one big dramatic moment, but in thousands of quiet ones. In the choices that you make, in the risks that you don't take, in how safe or unsafe you feel being yourself. And I'm not asking you to become endlessly positive. All you need is awareness, intention, and a little kindness towards yourself. Confidence grows when you stop tearing yourself down and start becoming someone that you can actually rely on. And in my next video, I'm gonna share with you a step-by-step guide to building real confidence. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel because this one's gonna be a good one. Sending you all so much love and light. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.